Okay, the November election is fast approaching, and Fox 47 wants to make sure that you've got everything you need to hit the polls. Fox 47's Brett Collar joining us in studio with what you need to do today to find out if you're ready. And Brett, it's an important day for voters.
Yeah, that's right. The midterm election is on November 6th, less than 1 month from today. Today is the last day to register to vote in that election. A lot of people in the area are ready to go, but some may not be if you're not registered. But we've got you covered. In order to vote in the state of Michigan, you must meet the following requirements. 1, you must be a U.S. citizen. 2, you must be at least 18 years of age by election day, which again is November 6th, and you must be a resident of the city or township in which you are applying for. Now, if you still need to register to vote, again, today is the last day to do so for that election on November 6th. Kurt?
All right, it'll be here before you know it. A group of people in mid-Michigan are now registered to vote and waiting on their absentee ballots while awaiting trial. The Michigan Coalition to Prevent Gun Violence teamed up with officials in Eaton County to get qualified inmates registered to vote. The group carried out their mission at the Eaton County Jail last night ahead of today's voter registration deadline.
Those that are in jail that are awaiting sentence and not yet sentenced are able to register to vote and to vote by absentee ballot.
Now, the deadline to request an absentee ballot is the Saturday before the election. Newly minted Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh will join the High Court this morning for his very first day on the job. After an FBI investigation, the Senate voted narrowly to confirm Kavanaugh over the weekend. And as Reed Binion reports, it came after a bitter fight over Kavanaugh's nomination that drove a partisan wedge even deeper into the heart of the nation.
What happened to the Kavanaugh family violates every notion of fairness, decency, and due process.
President Trump speaking at Monday's ceremonial swearing-in for newly confirmed Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
On behalf of our nation, I want to apologize to Brett and the entire Kavanaugh family.
Trump falsely claiming that allegations of sexual misconduct against Kavanaugh, which Kavanaugh denies, were proven to be untrue.
You, sir, under historic scrutiny, were proven innocent.
Trump's Monday night comments reflected the combative stance he maintained on Kavanaugh's confirmation throughout the day.
A man that was caught up in a hoax that was set up by the Democrats.
It was a disgraceful situation brought about by people that are evil.
For his part, Kavanaugh took a more conciliatory tone at Monday's ceremony.
The Senate confirmation process was contentious and emotional. That process is over. I take this office with gratitude and no bitterness.
Kavanaugh vowing to be objective and nonpartisan on the High Court.
On the Supreme Court, I will seek to be a force for stability and unity.
Kavanaugh also talked about promoting female lawyers.
I'm proud that all 4 of my newly hired law clerks at the Supreme Court are women.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
A senior priest in the Lansing Catholic Diocese who is accused of sexual assault has been without an assignment within the diocese for years. Now, that is what a diocese spokesman is saying about Reverend Robert Girl. He is accused of sexually assaulting a man decades ago. The diocese says it cannot say which churches Girl served because his files were seized in last week's raid by the State Attorney General's office. Girl is the second priest in the Lansing Diocese accused of sexual misconduct recently. Last month, East Lansing priest Mark Inglot was suspended after an allegation of sexual harassment. The diocese says Inglot agreed to undergo treatment. The man who failed to get a petition to get the Jackson County Sheriff recalled says he will resubmit that petition. We told you the State Board of Canvassers rejected recall language against Sheriff Stephen Rand yesterday. The sheriff has been under fire since February when a lieutenant in his office filed a lawsuit against the sheriff and then released audio recordings of the sheriff making derogatory comments. The panel hasn't heard those tapes, which led to a unanimous decision to reject the petition due to lack of evidence. The man who filed the language for the recall says this is not over.
It's a step back and it's a step forward. I figured this would happen. I really expected it would be rejected the first time. From reading other ones, they want proofs, and proof is that I can testify to the fact that this is Sheriff Rand on those tapes.
Under state law, another hearing would be scheduled within 10 to 20 days of a newly submitted recall language. We'll keep tracking this story for you. Part of a local bridge that was hit by a truck hauling an oversized load nearly a year ago is closed right now while crews repair the bridge. The westbound lane of South Street over US 127 near Mason closed for repairs. The eastbound lane still open. A truck hauling an excavator hit the overpass back in January. The work is expected to be done by late next month. There's also another construction project starting up that might affect your drive east Michigan Avenue between Portage and Hayball roads in Jackson County's Leone Township, scheduled to close starting today. The county will be repairing the road and working on the viaduct there. Now here's the deal, there's no detour route posted, so it's best probably just to avoid that area. The work is expected to be done by the end of tomorrow. Recreational marijuana could be legalized by voters next month here in Michigan, but one mid-Michigan city is considering banning marijuana businesses from starting there. That's what Jackson City Council members are set to discuss at its meeting later tonight. An item on the agenda would ban recreational businesses in the city if Michigan approves legalizing recreational marijuana on November 6th. Earlier this month, the County Board of Commissioners voted against recreational marijuana. Tonight's council meeting is scheduled for 6:30. We, of course, will let you know what happens. Michigan is about to get its very first professional soccer team, and its home field is right here in mid-Michigan. Lansing City Council members approved a deal last night that allows Lansing Ignite to play at Cooley Law School Stadium. The news means that it's the end of the amateur Lansing United men's team, which has played for the past 5 seasons. Mayor Andy Shore says bringing professional soccer to downtown Lansing will be a big boost to the city's economy. The Lansing Ignite will begin play in late March with at least a dozen home games at Cooley Law School Stadium. There is much more this morning on your Fox 47 Morning News. After the break, we have the very latest details on Hurricane Michael. Find out what states may get hardest hit. Plus, 2 criminals are caught on camera escaping from prison. Stick around to find out how their brilliant plan may not have been so brilliant. And a little bit later, buying a used car can be risky. And even some helpful resources like Carfax may not catch all of the past bumps and bruises. We're going to hear from our consumer reporter on what not to waste your money on. But first, with all these crazy temperatures this week, we might be better off not wasting our time and maybe dig out those fall sweaters again, right, Jim?
Yeah, you'll definitely need the fall sweaters as we hit the end of the week. But before that, we could be setting a few record high temperatures. I'll have all your details coming up just after the break. Stay with us.
You're watching Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
It certainly was a hot and humid one yesterday. We hit high temperatures today into the mid-80s, making it to 84 degrees in Lansing. If we do that again today, well, that would actually tie a record that dates all the way back to 1939. Jackson also made it to 84 degrees yesterday. Predicting high temperatures pretty much the same today, and right now it's still a very warm start to our day. Average high temperatures for this time of year, they're only in the mid-60s. We're already well above that in most locations. 68 in Lansing. It is 69 degrees for Jackson and Mason. 72 degrees still in Marshall. Now, we do have the clear skies around for now, but notice a little bit of cloud cover starting to move on in. We'll be in and out of the cloud cover through the day once again. Maybe a few pop-up storms this afternoon, but most of the shower and thunderstorm activity taking place off to our north and also off to our west along a cold front. That cold front will eventually move our way, bringing in some cooler air, and it's pretty easy to pick out that front on the temperature map. While we're still sitting in the 60s here in Lansing, it's 43 degrees right now in Marquette, 48 in Minneapolis. That cooler air is moving our way. It will arrive by the time Thursday rolls around. And it looks like heading into the upcoming weekend and into next week, we keep our highs only into the 50s. Low temperatures a lot of those mornings will be down into the 30s. So we'll check everything out with the future track, and we are partly cloudy for a good chunk of the day today. But heading into the afternoon, you can expect just a few storms to pop up and pass off pretty quickly. By the time we're getting into the evening, the storms are moving out of here. We're partly cloudy and still warm and humid through the overnight once again. Expect to see just a touch of sunshine to start your day on Wednesday, but overall that cloud cover will be filling in through the morning hours on Wednesday, becoming mostly cloudy by the middle of the day. Into the afternoon, we are watching for that cold front to move in, leading to a line of showers and thunderstorms. We'll be dealing with these storms through the overnight Wednesday into the very early morning hours on Thursday. But by the time daybreak on Thursday rolls around, skies are starting to clear out. Should be in for a lot of sunshine on Thursday, but behind that cold front, the cooler air will be moving in. Before today, it's still highs up around 84 degrees. That's coming with partly cloudy skies, just a few spotty thunderstorms this afternoon. For the overnight tonight, lows back down only into the mid to upper 60s. Partly cloudy skies are expected. Still a very humid night. We're back in the 70s by the time we hit the lunch hour tomorrow, starting out with some sunshine, but the cloud cover fills back in by the middle of the day, and we are watching for those showers and thunderstorms to be moving in throughout the afternoon tomorrow. High temperatures tomorrow still into the upper 70s, but behind that cold front, those temperatures really start to drop off. 55 degrees is your high on Thursday with mostly sunny skies, and then we're looking at low temperatures dipping all the way into the 30s Thursday night, and we'll be only into the 50s for the upcoming weekend. In fact, Saturday, it's going to be a struggle to hit that 50-degree mark. A few spots might get stuck in the upper 40s. Heading into the start of next week, we are watching for the possibility of a few more rain showers moving through as well.
And what about the first frost?
First frost may be coming for a lot of areas as we head into the early morning hours on Saturday. Right now, we have that forecast low around 36 degrees, so it's iffy, but it could happen.
So let's talk about Michael, Hurricane Michael. A lot of people in the Gulf Coast really worried about this.
Yeah, they really need to keep an eye on that storm. It has gained a lot of strength through the last couple of days. It's moving over some very warm waters, and it is expected to continue to strengthen over the next couple of days. Hurricane warnings now in place for the Gulf Coast of Florida near the Florida Panhandle. We also have tropical storm warning and watches that extend all the way over to the Atlantic coast. Now, Hurricane Michael, still a Category 1 storm, winds around 90 miles per hour. It's moving into some warm waters, very favorable conditions for development. So it should become a Category 2 storm through today, likely a Category 3 storm tomorrow as it makes landfall tomorrow afternoon. Should weaken quickly and move fairly quickly as it passes on through the eastern states, but still a tropical storm as it heads towards the mid-Atlantic, and we are expecting a lot of rainfall with this system. Parts of Florida could pick up as much as a foot of rain. Other parts of the mid-Atlantic that are still dealing with some flooding concerns from Florence could be seeing as much as 8 to 10 inches as well.
So you think Panama City is going to be right in the bullseye?
Panama City right now looking like the bullseye. Of course, we still have 24 hours, and these things do tend to change a little bit.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay, for most of us, you know, having a car is a necessity, one that is not only a major purchase, but one that can keep draining our bank accounts throughout its lifetime. In today's Consumer Watch, Mary Maloney shares 5 simple things you can do right now to save on those car costs.
Insurance, gas, oil changes, and repairs. Some of the many car costs that can drain your wallet. But there are ways to keep your car's demands at a minimum. One tip: take a defensive driving course. Safe and careful drivers are cheaper to insure. According to AARP, taking a driver's ed class could save you up to $200 annually with your insurance company. Another idea from AARP: use cruise control. It can reduce highway fuel usage by 7%. Depending on how you drive and how far, you could save as much as $70 per year. Tip 3, be smart about gas. Gassing up likely eats up much of your car budget. So find the cheapest prices in your area by downloading apps like Gas Buddy or Waze. And several grocery stores or credit cards offer loyalty points that can be used at gas stations. Tip 4, keep your tires properly inflated. The EPA says driving with properly inflated tires can improve your gas mileage up to 3%. And the final tip, take good care of your car. That means keeping up with regular oil changes, air filter replacements, and even something as simple as new wiper blades can keep those engines revving longer. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
After the break, an emotional night in upstate New York as thousands gather to remember those killed in that horrific limousine accident. We have details and the very latest on the investigation coming up next.
You're watching Fox 47 Morning News at 7.
Over 1,000 people packed an upstate New York park last night to honor the victims of that deadly limo crash. Several family members very emotional as local officials tried to comfort them, saying they are not alone in their mourning. 20 candles were lit in honor of the 20 people killed in Saturday night's crash. Many of them were related, and their loved ones say their lives